Oh boy. Hello. I'm streaming 1 minute early today instead of 11 minutes late, like last time, because I'm on top of my life. Woo! Let's do this. Hey everyone, I'm Josh Goldberg. If you're watching right now, you're probably on YouTube, so thanks for checking out the stream recording. If you're on Twitch, good for you. Thanks for coming on at the beginning. I am juiced today. I just opened Twitch in the background by accident. That's not good. I'm in a good mood because we just released Typescript-eslint v6 yesterday as stable. It's been in beta for some amount of time. How long has it been in beta? Let's check this out. So on the blog on typescript-eslint.io, we announced the beta in March. How long has it been since March 13th, 120? 120 days. Exactly. Since then. Give or take. But now it's stable. And we released... Well, I wrote the blog on July 9th, but we published it on Monday the 10th. So that's a whole thing. Great stuff. I'm really pleased about this, honestly. Before I get into the actual stream stuff today, just quickly going over why I'm so pleased. It is hard to release a new major version of software, even when you get to the larger numbers like 5 and 6. Every time it's a breaking change or set of breaking changes enough to justify having a new major version, there's a paranoia, a fear in the maintainers' minds. Are we going to break things for people? Are they going to hate this? Is this going to force them to move to something else? Ben Myers, boop. People have been saying boop to me recently. You're like the third person today. Is that a new... I love boop as a word. Is it coming back in style? How's it going? How are you? So yeah, I'm really excited about this Typescript-eslint v6 stuff because so far we actually... I don't want to jinx it. We haven't had too many bugs reported. Oh, really? On the boop? Yeah, no, I'm great. I actually started for the first time. By the way, I want you to see how I behave today. I started ADHD medication, Concerta 18 milligrams extended release over the weekend. So this is my first stream when I'm on literal meth. So this will be fun. I feel like I've been acting more ADHD during the days when I take it. I don't know how that happened. Chrissy, Seabid, how's it going? And Louis Estevez. Oh man, I feel like such happy names to see. How are y'all doing? Thanks for tuning in. I was just enthusing about how we released Typescript-eslint v6, which has been apparently almost 120 days in beta, and now it's stable. It's always scary to release a new major version of anything. There's always breakages and then people complaining. Often rightfully so complaining. But this is a really good thing because we've done a lot of good work. That was breaking changes, but I think will really benefit people and help them use linting tooling on TypeScript code with more positive impact and fewer negative impacts. We reworked the configs. So instead of having these 3 built-in ones, we now have 6 recommended built-in ones. But they're more, I think, reasonably organized based on what people would actually want to use them for. So you can get the recommended or strict level of linting intensity. You can opt into having it type checked. And then we also split out the stylistic rules because turns out developers really hate it when you lump in stylistic suggestions with bug catching stuff. People really hate that. So just gonna pin the message, the blog post to chat. Yeah, so that was a big thing. We also updated the rules to be a little more strict by default in breaking changes ways, things that we've been wanting to do for a while. We dropped support for a few versions of Node that are end of life, a few end of life. Well, TypeScript doesn't do end of life, but a few very old TypeScript versions, some other stuff. Yeah, so there are actually a lot of developer-facing changes that I think most people should never see, I hope. But we simplified or added newer, simpler versions of some APIs that should make it easier to write custom rules with logic. So instead of taking 4 lines of code to figure out the type of a node in the AST, if you don't know what that means, it's okay. You can just zone out. We now made it so it's only 2 lines to figure that out. Or like once after you get the shared services, it's instead of 3 lines, it's 1. So that's nice. Oh yeah, Chrissy, congrats on joining this. This is new. This docs crew or code crew thingy. I don't know what this is, but it sounds cool, and I'm glad they have you on. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'm talking with some Codecademy content folks about helping out with their intermediate TypeScript course. We're not sure that's what the name will stay as, but that's what they're calling it so far. Yeah, anyway, we did a whole bunch of AST breaking changes. So to recap on ASTs, let's see if I still have my stream elements command. Boop. When you write code, console.log, hello world. The AST is just a representation of what that code contains. So like this program contains an expression, which has a call calling to identifier console dot property identifier, a single argument, which is the literal hello world. So we, for good reasons, fiddled around with the AST formats in all these different ways. We made so nodes were more accurate in the type system and removed properties that should never exist. These things are technically breaking changes, which is why we waited to a new major version to release them. But they make the AST a little easier and more reasonable to work with. One big one is we renamed. Fun fact, I didn't know this until I started working in languages. An argument is the thing you're giving to someone. Like you give an argument. You give arguments to a function. A parameter is the recipient. A function takes in a parameter. And our ASTs sometimes did not call them the right thing. It would call it a type parameter instead of a type argument. And that's... No one really in the public mind cares about the difference. But when you work on tooling that deals with the AST, it's very important. So that's fun. A couple other things. We made it easier to get our tooling to yell at you if the AST, if the code that you're reading in is wrong, which is useless to most people, but really impactful and nice when you're working on a formatter that uses us to parse an AST. So this was helpful for Prettier. We also did some stuff to make it easier, cleaner to use us as a Node API. We removed a bunch of submodule imports like /utils, /dist, /tseslint that people kept accidentally. Jake, and have a nice day. First time chat, welcome. This is Jake Bailey, right? From the TypeScript team. Yeah. You updated a few projects to v6 and the unicorn no empty file lint seems... Oh no. Well, first of all, hi. Thanks for coming over. Jake, you are one of the people who were very helpful in some of these initiatives in v6 and beyond. So shout out Jake. Wait, Twitch literally has a shout out thing. Yes. Okay. Unicorn no empty file. Interesting. Is there a bug I should file? One of the things I wanted to do on this stream in general was to go to our release bugs milestone and fix up things, and then also see if there are any bugs people have reported. So this is excellent. This is a great transition to, we changed the AST. We believe they're good reasons, but it's a breaking change that might mess things up for others. So let me pull in my terminal here. Clear, make dirt, eslint temp, code, eslint temp. So let's get started here. Shut up, eslint, or VS Code. npm init, yes. So if you wanted to get started working with typescript-eslint as a new user, we have a link in this blog post. There's a getting started page. We're just gonna copy and paste the npm install. Then you can create an eslint rc.cjs. Oops. Boop. So this is all kind of standard stuff. Oh. Ooh. Empty files are not allowed. Ooh, thank you. This might make things easier. or gh repo clone this thing. Come on. Yep. Code pywrite action. Alright, what's the lock file? Package lock, npmi. Oh, ghpr checkout 19. npmi. Alright, so. Oh. Wait, do I not have the right notes? Why is it checking out the pull request? Oh, do you delete the branch? I just started using the GHPR or GHRepo clone command. It's confusing. Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna manually apply the changes. typescript-eslint is the plugin. Oh, they are 6.0. Got it. Oh, that's what you meant. Sorry. All right. Doesn't work. So many disables. Oh, you use the number 0? Ugh. Ugh. Fun fact, in ESLint you can say 0 or off, or 1 or warn, or 2 or error. File. Here and run lint. Scripts. And you said you. Okay. Lint. Lint dot. I like how my saving is auto formatting everything. Yeah, we actually have a recommendation in the blog post, fun fact, about what to do. Because we see this so often. I'm probably eventually going to write a full-on blog explaining this. But yeah, what we see is a lot of people set up an ESLint config more than a couple years ago, back when the standards and practices many people did for ESLints were different. So what I often do is remove all the rules configs, extend from all the preset configs that make sense. Oftentimes that ends up including typescript-eslint, unicorn, and others. Run eslint to get a giant list of all the failures. Often it's a large. Turn off any rules that you don't like the failures from. And then for existing remaining failures or complaints from eslint, add eslint disable comments or add to-dos in the eslint config to enable those rules. Why is... Did I get the wrong package lock? Yeah, eventually I'll write a blog post on that. Just who has the time for any of these things? There we go. Empty files are not allowed. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's see. You're not... I trust you not to backdoor my system. But now that you mention it, I wasn't thinking about it, but very interesting. So what I'm going to do here is just quickly peek at the source code for the rule. No empty file.js. Physical file name. If it doesn't end with like a JS, TS, NPS, etc. Wow, what a simple rule. How did we break this? That's really funny. Just making sure the AST still starts with program. You know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to node modules, eslint plugin, unicorn, rules, no empty file.js. Did I get it right? Coner. All right, so let's look at this. Looking at node. Oh no. Oh hey, one was empty. Source code, comments. Just to, eventually in theory I could set up like a breakpoint or something, but for now. And then package, I'm going to just change the eslint config to, instead of running on dot, which is the current directory, I'm just going to run it on, just config, which is probably just config.js. There we go. Yeah, I wonder why it does that. Maybe if it's like you have a semicolon, it'll do a thing. I don't know. All right, so it does get a bunch of comments. It gets, oh boy, it gets looking at this node, which has a body that has an expression statement in it. That is, wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, justconfig has a single expression statement. That makes sense. Got a bunch of comments, don't care. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Whew. Pardon me. So is empty node. All right. Console.log type. And what is additional empty? Oh, it's a function that can be called. All right, here's what I'm gonna. I don't want to have to keep logging through everything, so I'm just gonna. Where's my console log here? I'm going to put a breakpoint. Node.js. I'm gonna create a launch file where the program is. I like ESM plugin Unicorn, actually. It's a good. I don't think I use it in my template yet, but I think I have a to-do to investigate. It has a lot of good rules. And honestly, over the years, I'm pretty sure they keep, a lot of them just like keep eventually getting added to typescript-eslint, or some of them at least. Cat just left the room. All right, program, where's my ESLint? I swear I've done this before. Program, I wish there was an easier wizard for this. Workspace folder, node, modules, ESLint bin, LSL node, modules, ESLint bin, slash ESLint.js, just.config.js. All right, so if I press F5, that should launch. Come on. Cannot find one. Because justconfig is an argument. Args. Come on. All right, look at that. Amazing. I'm slowly learning how to use. You're totally right. I keep forgetting the debug terminal is a thing. Ugh, thank you. px-eslint or npm. Ugh, this must be painful to you as someone who works on these things. Okay, so we got node. We're going into is empty. Let's look at this. So we got node type. The node type is expression statement. How did this work before? What did we change in the parsing such that node.type is expression statement. So it is a directive. Wait. Why would it being an expression statement cause it to be additional empty? I'm so confused. What? Okay, so I don't understand what was changed. So I'm going to go back to typescript-eslint at 5. npmi, debugger attached. npm lint. Don't need that breakpoint. I just want to look at the type. What? Now the node type. Oh. Additional empty is and directive in node. Aha. My scroll wasn't enough. And direct. What the heck is directive? Node. Node.directive doesn't exist. So I'm going to install and then not debug terminal. All right. And then node.directive is still undefined. so confused. Why would... Aha! Directive is populated as undefined. Why is directive being populated as... What? Okay. Well, this is fun. So, looks like we, yeah. Git checkout main, git pull upstream main, git pull directive. So I think convert.ts is this big file that aha. I think I know the change. I think I did the change that broke this. Aha. Yes. So here's a fun thing. I mentioned this earlier with with ASD formats. I love this. Previously, we would do things like this. We would say directive question mark string or something like that. In fact, if I look up directive string undefined and go to the actual spec and look at the timeline view, we switch things from optional properties to properties that always exist and might be undefined. And this is a really good little refresher on a TypeScript fundamental. There is a difference between an optional property, one that might not exist, and a property that must exist but is allowed to be undefined. These two things are not the same. In the previous way, red, v5, directive didn't have to exist, but if it did exist, it needed to be a string. The advantage of that is that the node is smaller if it doesn't exist. In v6, we changed it to directive always exists, so we have a more consistent shape in the node, and the directive doesn't have to contain a string value. It could optionally be undefined to indicate it doesn't exist. So the way to fix this node issue would be bang bang node.directive, or just and node.directive, something like that. So that's an issue. And this is no one's fault, I would say. ESLint plugin Unicode was relying on an assumption that used to be okay, but is no longer. So thank you, and have a nice day for reporting. I'm going to file an issue. So, bug reports, no empty file, always false positives in typescript-eslint, or at typescript-eslint parser at 6. So, let's see. What I love doing, by the way, is showing the exact lines of code. So if we go to no empty file.js, and then look at copy permalink, right now, no empty file assumes that if a node, an AST node includes a directive property, then it's the directive and is then that, don't know how to phrase this, then that property must be a string. Then that's enough to indicate it's a directive. That assumption no longer holds true in TypeScript-eslint parsers v6.0.0. And I can actually point to the exact pull request because I remember pulls optional author Joshua K. Goldberg, something like this. AST. There we go. I could also just look at the thing in the blog post, and I can show the specific file change, which is in spec-ts under expression statement. So we search for expression statement and wait for GitHub to load the giant pull request. Love that page performance. I still miss Microsoft's old internal code review tool called CodeFlow. I'm told Azure DevOps actually is pretty great now. I'll believe it when I see it. Oops, something went wrong. Oh, GitHub, you so silly. Well, you can, in fact, still use Godflow with GitHub. I was one of the people who were actively protesting, I'm not going to use anything other than Codeflow until you make the other tools as good. So I'm glad to see that's still a thing. For those who haven't used Codeflow, it's just an amazing code review tool. And it's not open source, which always upset me. Oh, did it just load? Maybe there's a, you can just search. Come on. Nope. Nope. Okay. Change the AST shape for. I guess I can try that. Always bums me out. Oh, and the tab froze. So let's open a new one. Love to see it. Oh, look at this. This is working. Like. Alright, I'll just say diff directive string, which is minus, and then directive string or undefined is the change. And the PR explains why we did that. TLDR, normalizing AST double shapes. Oh, Learner, are you doing okay? How's life? Yes. All right, here we go. Copy as. Get to permalink. And I want it to be on my. Or the orgs. Thank you. I appreciate the congrats. So ESLint plugin unicorn. We'll need to update to with a change like where's their file? Boop, boop, boop. Like this. Node dot directive. Don't need to mention the bang bang. Although right now, no empty line is flagging totally valid files such as, and where is that friend? There we go. Thanks, Jake Bailey, for reporting. Love to see it. Submit. Oh yeah, dude, I've been permalinking all over the place, but yeah, no, I really like it. I've been burned by so many old GitHub comments where people link to the main or back in the day master branch, and I've just been intentionally trying to figure out the fastest way to permalink link and everything. But all right, great, love to see it. I'm just gonna leave this here because I've learned the hard way not to send PRs to libraries until something gets accepted. You never know. Oh, interesting. Cool. So I also generally post everything I'm doing on Twitter and now Mastodon and now also Blue Sky. So first up, responding to a bug report from Jake Bailey. And have a nice day. Where does and have a nice day come from? Thanks. Love to see. So sad to see AST breakages causing ecosystem pain, but I hope they long term end up making things better. Boop. All right. I always find it interesting how the things are so slightly different in Blue Sky and and all these things. That was a fun little investigation. All right. A Jake-ism. I love isms. Oops. All right. So what I really wanted to do first was go through bugs, and we just did one. So let's continue going through the other bugs. So we've got this milestone of bugs to get through. So I'm going to just go through them in oldest first. Looks like... Aha! So this is a juicy one. This is another silly thing. So someone has a ESLint config repo that has custom rules built on our tooling, which I love to see, dear heavens, love it so much. And their custom rules no longer type check because cannot find module typescript-eslint or its corresponding type declarations. Anybody who's worked in TypeScript module resolution land may or may not be triggered by watching the following investigation summary. So fun. So shout out if you already know just from what's been described why that's the case. Yeah. So next, looking at the first of several v6 release bugs in the milestone. This one is about our packages types not being found in classic or in traditional or Node 10 module resolution. Because, fun fact, TypeScript allows you to specify which version of Node. Oh shoot, I forgot to tag the author. Are they on Twitter or anything? Nope. Good. You're using a module resolution algorithm based off of. And Node 10 doesn't support things that have been added to TypeScript or to Node since Node 10 was released, because things that were added in, say, Node 16, well, that's new. Unfortunately, a lot of people, I learned yesterday, are stuck on Node LTS stricted, which is this config that comes from, I believe the TypeScript team publishes that TS config. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. It's this old config that people are supposed to move off of into a couple of different configs. But there's this blocker in ESLint plugin import because this is a whole thing. ESLint plugin import, which is a great ESLint plugin, relies on tsconfig paths, which was released a support for this thing, the replacement, using an array of extends in TypeScript. But the maintainer, Jordan Harband, a very influential, knowledgeable ESLint community member, TC39 rep, does not want to use something that doesn't support Node version 4. That's right. Node 10 is long years out of date, and ESLint plugin import supports back to Node 4. And just to be clear, Node 4 was released 7 years and 10 months ago in 2015, right after I graduated university, and active support ended 6 years ago. Now, Jordan is a smart individual. This is not just some off-the-cuff, it seems cool. Jordan does not like bumping supported ranges because Jordan's perspective, please forgive me if I summarize this incorrectly, is, where is it? Let me post the issue here, is, oh God, where is it? Here we go. Long equivalent to a blog post, is that breaking changes, even in old unsupported things, is painful to people. Learner, you hit the nail on the head. Although old versions of Node are insecure and out of support, a lot of people still use them, specifically enterprises that would cost a lot of money and time that they don't have to upgrade. So by upgrading your minimum required range, you might be locking up people who are stuck on old versions. One could, and I have made the argument that it increases pressure on people to update to a new version if you drop support for old things, but then you're also making it harder for them to update because you're just increasing that wall of things they have to climb. I don't agree with this. I wholeheartedly disagree with this. I think this is taking a legitimate stance too far. I think blocking people from being able to use tsconfig paths for on ESLint plugin import is net worse than keeping dropping Node 4 support. But I mean, that is my opinion. Jordan has Jordan's opinion, and so on. And yes, TypeScript supports Node 14 plus. TypeScript, I believe, roughly recognizes the Node end of life support system ? That's a question, not a statement. And if anyone's curious, I like the end of life Node. Yes, I got the wrong URL somehow. Yeah, here we go. So this doesn't even include the visibility on these by default. So yeah. Anyway, so that's a whole thing. So anyway, tangent. A lot of people are stuck on using this old tsconfig. And this old tsconfig specifies module resolution to Node. And if you're curious about module resolution, you can go to typescript-eslint.org's docs on it. And you can see that Node 10 is a rename of what was previously called Node. But a lot of people don't know this because they just see, oh, module resolution Node. I'll go with that. So, yeah. Node, module resolution Node. This is... If only someone were to give a talk at TypeScript Congress and all these things later this year. Old versions of Node, the module resolution algorithm they use doesn't support ECMAScript imports and module values in the package JSON. So, yeah. Anyway, the problem is we dropped support for Node 14 and therefore Node 10, and we removed the little things in the package JSONs that would allow the old module resolution to figure out how this works. So what you got to do now is just switch your module resolution to something newer, like Node 16. And when you restart, it works. What a tangent. Yeah. I had actually forgotten we intentionally did that, and this whole silly chain of dependencies and updates and deprecations. So I had originally been thinking, oh, this is a bug. So now I realize, thanks to where is it? Brad Zacher, one of my other maintainers, posted here. This was intentional removal. So yes, thank you. So this is the canceled PR. You're right. I forgot about this convoluted chain. TLDR for everyone. Just TLDR. We dropped support for Node 14. I'll copy and paste. We dropped support for Node less than 14. Whatever. Just for older. What's the version of Node we dropped support down to? Yep, yeah, for Node less than equal to 14. Whatever. Less than equal to 14, including, which means we no longer. That means our as a part of point up, we removed the bit from the entries in package JSON. That helped old Node versions resolve. Types resolve package entries. TypeScript respects Node module resolution. Module resolutions, algorithms. So, which means we essentially dropped types module resolution support for Node. For Node. tsconfig module resolution node is actually an alias of node 10, which is end of life. You should switch to node 16 or node next or some other, or whatever is most accurate for your project. Per agate.ms/tsconfig. There's a little hot link there to module resolution. Someone yell at me if I got any of this wrong, please. There we go. Okay. Working as intended. I actually wonder if I should file an issue on TypeScript. For like a more specialized error message. Like if your resolution would work if you switched to node 16 or node next or bundler or something, then let people know. Not sure. Copying from here. Thank you, learner. Appreciate your optimism and positivity. I forgot that this convoluted chain of versioning shenanigans. We got for node 14 as a part of that. We remove entries. Oh, this is actually working as intended. The workaround of switch in that last list item is our recommended user land fix u. Boop. All right. And I'll just copy a link to here. Edit July 11th, 23 by Joshua K. Goldberg. See this for why this is working as. Sorry. Hijacking OP for visibility. All right. So, by the way, Chrissy, I see you asked a question on a project that I'm doing with Result. Also you. No update. But if anyone's interested in opencontributions.dev, let us know. We're going to start working with a designer soon to fill that site out. Anyway, yeah, so I feel like this might be a thing I want to file in TypeScript. The issue that they had was, let's see, was in typescript-eslint get rule severities. Where's the code? Here it is. Import type-eslint from blah blah blah. Type-eslint utils. But I'm just going to do like star as imported or values stuff, whatever it comes to log stuff. From type-eslint utils. Can't find it, and then because we module yes next. Come on. Is the TypeScript playground auto import? Come on. Module. Oh, is it module resolution? How do you set the module resolution in the TypeScript playground? What is this? What's happening? I don't like how difficult it is to search this. Oh, you can't? Well, that explains that. Well, gonna have to do one of my repros. Repo. I have this repros repo repository whenever I need to make a repo. Sorry, a reproduction case. Check me. Hey, if y'all want to pay me to fix things in the TypeScript playground, hit me up. All right, so when we have this index ts, npm init -- yes, npm I typescript-eslint/utils and TypeScript. Well, I don't know if it'll complain about peer dependencies missing. So if we go to the tsconfig.json, compiler options, module resolution, node 10, being explicit on it being gold, and clear npm. Let me add a, oh geez. I already had a package JSON on the main branch. That's not intentional. Oops. License MIT. Move all this crap. TSC, whatever. TypeScript. What version? 5.6. npm npm run TSC. Cannot find module. Yes. So now we do. Actually, you know what? I don't even need this here because I can just let's do TSC. TSC node 10, TSC node 16. Right, you can do module resolution on the command line. Module resolution node 10 and module resolution node 16. You can run TSC node 10. You can run TSC node 16. I'm just going to say compiler options no omit. Oh, sweet heavens. What happened? Target ES whatever 2022. Clear. Yay! All right, so now we have an isolated reproduction case. Let's write a README for it. TypeScript module resolution error repro. Error repro. So showing that the cannot find module error for a node 10 for module resolution node 10 is not particularly informative. There we go. And then setup shall I run TSC node 10, node 16. Error. No error. Yeah, cool. So this makes me happy. Yeah, Lorna, every time you hang out in my Tuesday streams, which are always at 2:30 Eastern, give or take, I'm always impressed and pleased and grateful, but also I hope you're getting good sleep. Sleep is important. All right. So this is not a bug in TypeScript, by the way. I'm not saying, oh, TypeScript broke. I'm saying it would be nice to have a easier error message for this. TypeScript is wonderful. So did I post about... I didn't post about this. Okay. Yes, I did post. So I'm going to say... Oh my god, I normally do this first. Missing the main entry point. Error message. So what I do... what's confusing about modules? Should I post them here? Oh, what questions people have. I'm trying to figure out if someone's already posted the same thing that I want to post, which is saying, hey, can we have a better error message here? Yeah, check package JSON. You're saying the node modules, the typescript-eslint. That one's missing, gang. Dist index.js. Would this fix it, is what you're saying? Let's see. Restart TS server. No. I apologize. I am not following. Oh my god, the error message does say that. In the editor, though. Did I just waste my time? I was going to file an issue saying, hey, can we add this little bloop here? But it doesn't show up in the command line. Well, this is what it's like to be a developer. Sometimes you go down a path and the path is unnecessary. So that's nice. Sad. Okay. I am not going to investigate further. I do not feel like going into the intricacies of module resolution. Hashtag moving on. Thanks, though. I appreciate the help. All right. So next up, we're open 16 hours ago rather than 11, is skipping right over that infinitely deep rabbit hole of module resolution and node versioning. Let's go over to a simpler one. Report of a bad merge, adding a small unnecessary dependency, because that's what happened. Got it. Yeah, we got rid of those. LOL. Also, who filed this? Is CYSP on any social media I should tag them, thinking? Nope. Oh, Sydney. Brad is near Sydney. All right. And boop. And boop. Cool. So this one's actually pretty simple. Pretty straightforward, I should say. We removed this grapheme splitter package. Oh yeah, responding to the chat. Yeah, so we dropped support for all versions of Node that don't support exports. So we were like, yeah, don't need to include that field there. I'm sure someone such as Jordan Harband would be like, no, you should include it. Well, there's no reason not to, but we're trying to trim down and force people to upgrade because we do actually want to only include code to support the latest versions that we actually want to support. Because our time is valuable and we're not paid enough to waste our time on Node 10. Waste with quotes and people probably correctly calling me out for saying that's wrong. Anyway, yes, so we removed this grapheme splitter dependency because we had switched it to this newer package, Graphemer, because ESLint also did that. Yeah, and then I kept merging the main branch into v6, and at some point I reintroduced the dependency of grapheme splitter. Amusingly, it's still in the yarn lock because, here, I'll just post this in the chat, because it's a nested dependency of ESLint for now. Once we get a newer version of ESLint, it will be removed. So, yeah. So this is fine. As long as the build pass, this is a fine change. And the builds pass. Website tests are broken for everyone. So I'll just approve. This is a downside of having to merge branches into a feature, into a long-lived branch for months. Something I, what's the right word? Abhor doing and do not look forward to in v7. Thanks for the quick fix. And I'm trying to get better at putting in GIFs. Let's go with the Roadrunner. Looney Tunes running over a black background. Approved. Love to see one that's simpler. And squash merge because I have fancy schmancy admin privileges. Lol. Tessa, hello. Thanks for coming on over. How's it going? We were just chatting about conferences and stuff. All right, look at this. Glad to hear it. One last bug for v6. Ah! And of course, I did not just jinx us into having a bajillion more bugs later on. Last bug in the v6 release bugs milestone. Surely nobody will file anything else after it. Melt. And it's from Jackworks. Jackworks has been around our repo before. Thank you, Jack. Oh, I don't follow them anymore. That must have been an auto unfollow. Shame on me. Thanks for filing. A new regression in the no unnecessary qualifier rule. What is that rule? I barely remember. Let's find out. Thanks, Jackworks. Boop, boop, boop. So, by the way, one of the things I love about having a repo that we've had time to really iterate on the tooling for is we have really nice, I think, issue templates. So that when someone files a bug, we tell them exactly what we need to reproduce it, identify whether it's valid, and then learn what to do with it. For that specifically, bug filing in a rule case, we ask for a playground link, the repro code, their ESLint config, and their TS config. And fun fact, in the typescript-eslint playground, let me post this in the chat. Oh, I already did. We even have a little link to report the current thing as an issue. Hello. So if you just click that, it fills all sorts of stuff out for you. So useful. But yeah, qualifier is unnecessary since B is in scope. What is no unnecessary qualifier? This is a rule for namespace qualifiers. This is a feature of TypeScript, a pair of them, that people don't often use. For enums and namespaces, there are two different ways of making objects that have members. Enums are for when you want to have like a set of related values like color dot red, green, blue, and so on. Namespaces are like a way to organize global objects containing nested members that predates modules. Thanks, learner. So you don't need to have the a dot in either of these examples. You can just remove it. TypeScript is smart enough to know what you're referring to. TypeScript no longer adds new syntax like this, but these are very old and came from a time when TypeScript and JavaScript were less as they are today than they are today. So this looks incorrect. If we click the fix, that's interesting. I don't know why this is happening off the top of my head, but it's kind of funny. I wonder if you remove that previous declare namespace. Huh. That's really funny. So yeah, this is definitely a bug. I see Brad commented, added accepting PRs. Yes. And no one has sent a PR for it. So you know what? I'm gonna take a look. Why not? Normally what I do is avoid day-to-day style work like this one. I'll just upgrade VS Code, what the heck. It's, in theory, I love little tasks like this, little bugs and feature requests. But in practice, as a maintainer, one of my roles is to encourage people to contribute. So it's good for me to leave small, discrete bugs for newcomers to fix. Unfortunately, this feels like kind of a blocker for anyone using the rule. So I just want to fix V6 stuff quickly. So allow me to git pull upstream main. I still work off of a fork because empathy and yarn. Let's look at no unnecessary qualifier. Oh, look, several hundred lines, almost 200 lines of code. That'll be fun. We have much worse rules in our code base. All right, so we got the tests up on the right, seeing some valid cases, some namespaces. Not that many valid cases. This rule doesn't have that many tests, so that's how it broke. We didn't have enough tests for this rule. Shame on us. So let's add a couple of repro cases. One is going to be directly what they have in the issue. And let's see. It's complaining. We have lint rules that make sure we format things nicely in test cases. And we also have a lint rule to make sure we don't have duplicate test cases, which comes from ESLint plugin, which is an ESLint plugin that helps you write ESLint plugins. Cracks me up every time. All right, so yeah, let's, oops. What did I do? Did I just did something. All right. So now if I cd packages eslint plugin yarn jest no unnecessary qualifier dash dash watch. Aha. Expected no, should have had no errors, but had one. All right. What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to take the advice of and have a nice day, Jake, and open a debug terminal. Only true this test. So just looking at the first one and only running it. Packages eslint plugin. Oh, its code is the string. Yarn jest no unnecessary qualifier dash dash watch. And let's put a breakpoint somewhere in here. No, 10. I missed an S. Wow. So let's look into how these rules work. Oh, sweet heavens. Yeah, this is... All right. So the way an ESLint rule is set up... You know, I'm just going to... We already have a launch task built in. What am I doing? The way it's set up is you return from the rule creator, currently open ESLint plugin rule, the rule creator, which is something we'll look at next. You return an object that has a bunch of key value pairs. Each of the keys on that object is a query. For example, TS module declaration. Every time we see what used to be called a module and is now correctly in this rule called a namespace. Each time you see that type of node, you then run this function. So here it's a enter declaration shindig. So if we put a breakpoint here, we see that there's a node which is a TS module declaration kind of namespace, which has a body that's a module block that has one named declaration, which is an export type, which you might be able to start cluing in on the right, is going to be called declaration ID Z. Here we go. So here we see that when the rule sees a namespace or module, it adds it to namespaces in scope, which is, where's my option key? An array of TypeScript nodes. So it's a stack of which node we're currently looking at. And when we exit declaration, we namespaces in scope.pop. Now, for some reason, this is calling context.reports. So if we play to that, we see we are reporting on, and here's a cool little thing, context.get source code dot, what is it? Text.slice node.start node.end. Does that work? Node.range 0 node.range 1. There we go. A.b. So we're reporting on A.b. Now, what I'm wondering is, why is this if triggering? Why is qualifier is unnecessary happening? So let's see, we add it, we check, is it the same node? Yep, A.b. So if we go into qualifier is unnecessary, look at namespace symbol, we have the TS qualifier, we have from scope. What is from scope? Symbols are equal, access symbol from scope. Looks like they are the same. Oh boy, I really hate scope analysis. It is one of my least favorite things to work with. I just don't do it enough to get comfortable and familiar with it. So here we're looking at B. Let me fix that formatting issue. Come on. Fix autofixable. There we go. We're looking at B and the TS qualifier, which is the TypeScript node, which, by the way, TypeScript nodes get text have an actual get text. All right, so the qualifier is Why are we asking for the qualifier of B? Shouldn't we... This is going to be convoluted. I hate this. I really don't want to work on this. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to abort this. I've only got like 25 minutes left, and I've just scratched the surface of it. So you know what? I'm going to abort. I don't want to work on this. What I'd rather do instead is roll out v6 to other repos, because now that we've released v6, I'm really excited to get all these new stylistic recommendations and recommended strict rules and such out. I could make it a draft PR, but all that draft would contain is just 2 unit tests, and then I'd rather have someone else go through the effort. Like, I know it can be useful for people to just send a draft PR saying, hey, these are the tests, but they're already in the PR, or part of the issue. So, There's a concept of a licked cookie, which I actually learned from the TypeScript repo. Fun fact. If you go to the TypeScript repos issues, or maybe it's the contributing guidelines. Yeah, cookie licking. Cookie. Yeah, I'm just going to search for cookie in the code base. Where is it? Licked? Where is... It's the idea that if you lick a cookie, no one else is going to want to eat the cookie, so don't post an issue saying, oh, I'd like to send this in. It's in the contributing guide? I thought I looked at the contributing guide. Clearly I didn't. Contributing guide. Where is it? Aha! Cookie? Lick? Where is the licked cookie thing? Contributing bug fixes. Did you remove the licked cookie thing from this guide? How dare you? It's like one of my favorite things. History. Oh, claim? Is that what you call it? Issue claiming. Aha! There it is. Oh, it's the same blog post link that I got. Yeah. No, it's such a good term, cookie licking. It cracks me up. I love it. It's funny. Politics and best practices are oftentimes drastically different on small repos versus big repos. I would consider typescript-eslint to be maybe like a medium to large, depending on your scale, because TypeScript has 5,000 plus issues. So that's definitely large. We are like a few hundred issues. Yeah, 390. But we are not in the situation where we want to actively encourage everyone who could ever possibly want to contribute to us, because we don't have the bandwidth to deal with that. We have too much incoming. So we set up walls, barriers to entry. Yeah. Cookie linking. Also, Raymond Chen, just this author, this longtime excellent person, is very good in person to read a blog post from. You take a cookie, you lick it, and put it back on the plate. Ooh. Anyway. Oh, nice. I think you closed a couple of mine that got fixed. Love it. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to abandon this for now, and instead I'm going to go to downstream repos that that used typescript-eslint v6. So what we did for typescript-eslint v6 is we tried out a bunch of community repos, including TypeScript itself. Fun fact. Some of which I just didn't get around to, or the PR is still open. Some of which actually did merge. And we tried out just to see. We actually got a lot of really good feedback. Even when the people didn't interact with us, didn't have time, or if I never got around to sending a pull request, it was still really useful to run the new v6 stuff on these repos. I didn't actually run on my template TypeScript node package, so I'm going to do that now, actually. I'm just going to update it. So for context, I have this template TypeScript node package. I'm really happy with this thing. It's something I've been working on for quite a few months now, actually. The idea is just make a good template with all the stuff that Josh, want in a repo that other people, myself included, can use. I guess people, myself included, can use. It's got linting, formatting, release management, testing, all sorts of great stuff. Unused code detection, renovate, all contributors. It's got 88% unit test coverage but in theory, you can get better coverage in yours. Also, look at this lovely grid of people. Love to see it. So I haven't gotten around to using typescript-eslint v6 in this repo because I just didn't have the time. CrunchCon, thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Also, hi, Corbin. Let's go! Thank you for your very kind tweet, by the way. I really appreciate it. One thing that saddens me in online discourse is that genuine sincerity is surprisingly difficult to convey in whatever 180, 140 character messages. But I genuinely pleased, happy, and appreciative when someone says nice things to me or my projects. So thank you, Corbin. All right, typescript-eslint v6. Accepting PRs. Rick Flag Woo. There's something about this GIF, by the way. Rick Flag going woo. Maybe it's that he's like clearly high on cocaine or acting as if he's high on cocaine. But look at this sincerity. I wish I could have that in a tweet, in text form, not just me constantly putting the white feather outfit guy in. Yeah. I keep closing the tab with the blog and then reopening it. I'm silly. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bump my template repo to... Oh, look. Oh, my God. Issue 600 for TypeScript. Look at this. This is amazing. Issue 600 for v6.0.0. Amazing. Yeah. I'm going to skip right over that. Do not want to wrestle with scope analysis for features right about now. Yes, like this. Yes. On the bright side, this means I get to work on putting v6 in places. Like my template repo. Version issue number 600 about version 6.0. Ugh, blue skies. Character limit. Annoying. My TS template repo. Yay! Reply. Boop. So amazing. This honestly, this made my day. Cool. All right, let's do this. Code template TypeScript template TypeScript node package. Closing that lol. Git checkout main pnpmi or git pull and pnpmi. I use pnpm. What does pnpm stand for again? The P. Does anyone know what does pnpm stand for? Performance npm. What's the winky fellow? Oh, you're gonna love this. This is the only Chat GPT, AI, LLM, whatever area thing that I've ever actually liked. It's SourceGraph's Cody. I'm not paid to say this, by the way. I just really like SourceGraph and Cody. It's not flawless. It's a current era style chatbot that specifically trains on your code base in addition to general coding and ChatGPT type stuff, LLM things. And it's surprisingly better than most other things. Like, I've asked it for deep insights into the TypeScript code base, and 4 out of 5 times it's gotten pretty good answers. 1 out of 5 it hallucinates, but that's so much better than any other tool I've used. It's also been a couple months since I've like actively used it, and I know they're actively iterating on it, so who knows? Maybe it's a 9 out of 10 now. Yeah, really like coding. Anyway, let's use typescript-eslint v6. Woo! Package JSON, typescript-eslint 6.0.0, parser 6.0, PPMI. So what I recommend folks do is in their eslint configs. Oh, you don't like hallucinates? Why? Because it. What is the standard reasoning against hallucination as a term? It's that it's what is it? Non-blame attributed. There's a term for the term. Uh, I don't know of a better word than hallucinating though, because lying. The reminder. Oh, of hallucinations. Yeah, I don't know what. I don't have a better term for this. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Someone please suggest a. It's like when we switched from allow list, from whitelist and blacklist, and then also switched from the master branch. Master branch, we just switched to main. Terminology, great. Main is directly better. It's fewer characters. It makes more sense. Now, but for allow list versus entry list, block list versus deny list, like the terminology is not as settled, which irks me. But anyway, what I'm doing now is using the new typescript-eslint configs in my template repo and checked. Let's just see. Everywhere that I previously configured my configs as like recommended and strict, now I'm doing strict and stylistic because that's the new way. Main was such a good term. All right. Clear pmpm build. Clear pmpm lint. Let's see what happens. So this repo has a lot more. Let's see. Where is it? This repo has a lot more stuff in it than I normally recommend. For people, this is just all the lint rules I've ever wanted. And what I do to categorize them is I put little comments on top of sections. So like these are things that I don't like and I've turned off for the repo. Like I use eslint plugin end, which is the eslint plugin for Node. Because eslint plugin Node is unmaintained and the maintainer isn't passing the reins over to anyone. I know what's happening there. So, yeah. So just skimming through, there are not a lot of configuration changes I made on top of the recommended rules. No unnecessary condition. I allow constant loop conditions, like while true, because I've used those before. Anyway, the only thing that it's caught now is right structure. I'm going to restart eslint server. Come on, please give me squigglies. Aha! So this is a complaint from a interesting little rule. It's enabled in the strict preset. Strict type check, pardon me. It says if you have a function that returns void, or a value that is void, there's no need to return it. Returning a void expression for a function is... We should work on that error message. Forbidden is not a good rule complaint. And yeah, +1 Corbin, I like well true. Please remove the return statement. Yeah, there's no actual need for me to return await right structure worker because, well, we're not returning anything. It's void. So this rule just found a unnecessary return in my code. You got this, Corbin. You did it. Git checkup typescript-eslint v6. So git add all commit feat bumped typescript-eslint to v6.0.0 push origin typescript-eslint v6. What? Oh, I previously made a v6 branch just to play around with things. So let's push to a more specific branch name. All right. You got this. We all got this. All right. Addresses an open issue 600. I remember that. Bumps the version. I didn't see any need to adjust manual rules, just the preset configs. I'm going to say tweak so it's not verbally as simple as just. And hey, it found an unnecessary return. Nice. I'm going to actually link to the rule there. Boop. No confusing. Void. Looks good. Create pull request. What's for large scale code bases, what's the oh god, I used to know this. What is LOE? Level of effort? What is LOE in business? Level of effort? Level of effort, yeah. Nailed it. I got this. It's up to you. It doesn't have to be very much. You can stay with the existing configs that you want. And in fact, we actually made it easier to onboard recommended configs in v6. We pulled out all the stylistic rules from the recommended rule sets, recommended and strict, into their own. We also made it easier to be more strict. We pulled strict into two, or separated into two. We made strict and then strict type checked. There are some breaking changes to the rule configs, which just means we've enabled more strict stuff than previous. Or even removed things. And actually, for reference, we have a whole discussion on the wrong repo. typescript-eslint, discussions, changes to configs for 6.0.0. So if you want to see the full list of things, it's this plus a few small touch-ups we did after community beta testing, as I mentioned, is very useful. So yeah, what you can do is update to v6 and then just manually disable any rules that are giving you grief, that are newly enabled, that you don't have time to enable or don't want to. And that's actually what we ended up doing in a lot of the community PRs, which I'll go to next. Oh no, a failing check. Dude, I keep saying, I don't know why I've started saying dude more to people regardless of gender, age, expression, etc. But I'm trying to stop. Sorry to the world for sounding like a surfer. But yeah, I spent so much time just tweaking this little table and little table key. I'm really proud of this table. Thank you for noticing. But yeah, I'm pleased with the changes we made. But yeah, you'll see after this that in a lot of community trying outs, what I did was I enabled the new preset configs and then added a big to-do section in the ESLint config saying, hey, do you want these rules? It's really not that much effort. Oh yeah, the PR was open in October 22nd, but it's like this year that I really did a lot of work on it. All right, so my PR is failing. Let's look at why. First up, knip. Yeah, for sure, always something. That's a nice phrase. Here's a fun thing. Knip. Does anyone know what that means? GitHub Web Pro Knip. Great little tool. Find unused file dependencies, exports, and so on. I use it in my template repo to detect unused code. So if we do pm run lint knip, oh, you've been looking for something like this? Yes, this is why we Twitch stream, to share. Love it. Love knip. Love you. Love this. Love everyone. Love Twitch, the product. Yeah, this is great. Honestly, highly recommend. I posted the link in the chat. Oh, actually, before I forget, let me post the PR on the Twitter and such threads. A few touch-ups to do, but pretty straightforward mostly. Boop. Boop. And boop. Yeah, knip is super configurable, by the way. Knip.json. See, I've set up some entries, some there's a schema which is updated to remove this layout quickly. I actually added this feature, ignore exports used in files, because I like exporting interfaces and types even if they're not used outside of the file, just in case. I specify which things are part of it. Oh, I think this is actually unnecessary. Script slash. Oh, no, it's still there. Anyway, yeah, so knip, one of the nice things that it does is automatically detect packages for you. Unfortunately, that means that if the automatic package detection doesn't know of some new stuff in one of those packages, Knip might complain. For example, Knip has automatic detection for, let's see, I know it has for ESLint. Does it also have one for typescript-eslint? No. So ESLint, let's see here. Curious if they mention. So what they do is, it knows how do I phrase this? It knows how to resolve from things that are in your particular files to the package names that are used there. Aha, here we go. But no, this is, I think, just a test file. Never mind. So Knip knows that if you have typescript-eslint recommended requiring type checking, for example, then that means that it's from the typescript-eslint package. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like Knip recognizes at typescript-eslint's new ones. ESLint plugin strip type check, stylistic type checked. So just seeing, I'm just curious. Aha, here we go. So it looks like they have some code that I am not currently attempting to read or understand, but let's see. Yeah, it looks like there's some code that's supposed to recognize from your ESLint config what the dependencies are, and it doesn't work for these ones. So I'm just going to file a bug on Knip. WebPro, very nice individual named Lars, right? Who are you? Yeah, Lars. Really big fan of Lars. Does a lot of good work. So Lars is normally pretty fast for these things. Yeah, it's really nice. Like it'll let you know if, hey, you're using an ESLint config that's not mentioned in your dependencies, or you're importing from a package that you didn't explicitly mention. Kind of like ESLint plugin imports unused package detection, but a little more powerful. So let's see, bug reports. ESLint plugin doesn't recognize TypeScript ESLint's stylistic or type checked or strict type checked rule sets. So let me just go to my PR. Oh yeah, Knip, by the way, has a really interesting approach to issuing PR templates. Lars is super responsive, so instead of adding in a bunch of things that we always end up asking people, Lars just post whatever you want. So, trade-offs. Coming over from this, my ESLint config contains, among others, plain text. So if I'm going to copy and paste everything from typescript-eslint. Whoa, too much. So I'm going to remove all the parser lines. At TypeScript-eslint. Remove all these rules, so it really just wants these things. There we go. Good names. Oops. How do I phrase it? These extension, these plugins under, among others, under extends. And Knip only recognizes strict from them. So I'm curious, where in Knip is this stuff mentioned? So I'm actually going to do a quick little investigation code Knip, because I've previously contributed to this beautiful library and want to see more. Main, get pull upstream main, get push. So if I look for just strict and exclude .test.ts or .tests, the directory. Aha! Here we go. So recommended or strict or all. Yeah, so this is where it comes from. This is the same thing I found. So recommended, strict, or all. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just try this out locally. Node modules knip lib plugins eslint helpers.js. How do they distribute this? Source dist. There it is. Ha ha. So if I say, and these are allowed to, I know the right fix would be to have it actually resolve the ESLint algorithm, which I don't want to do right now. That would probably take a little longer. But ESLint recommended, strict, stylistic, strict dot star, stylistic dot star. And if we pm run lint knip, I bet you it passes now. Ha! Very nice. So that's fun. Copy as remote file URL. Oh shoot. I think it it had a little pop up. Ah, whatever. Strict. Get out of here. Strict. Copy permalink. Fun fact. If you add stylistic or strict to the regex in, it works, right? But would you be up for this as a band-aid fix, pending the big to-do comment in that file? Because I do hate band-aids, but also hate things giving me false positives. So, all right, so I filed the issue on knip. Now the time has come for me to get myself unblocked. So in my knip, I can ignore dependencies. Yes, so I'm going to try to add these here. Although it's a JSON file, it still supports comments. So technically it's a JSON C file, JSON with comments. Life is good. And if let's see, I'm just gonna remove one of them. The Machinist. Thank you for coming in. Great movie. I don't think I've ever been called Big J before. Maybe my mom used to call me. I don't know, actually. But hello, thanks for joining. How are you doing? Yes, so this works. Add all, commit m, workaround for knip 154. I've actually been meaning to do investigate if these are still used and still flagged, and file issues if not. Yeah, I've been meaning to do in knip config. You love, oh, thank you. I really appreciate you saying that. We were talking earlier about sincerity in discourse. It's hard to convey, but thank you. All right, let's look at the next complaints in this PR. So we got what? Lint knip and test setup. All right. So this template repo, which I'm just gonna, because it's been a little while, I'm gonna post the link in the chat. Welcome to the channel, by the way. Because this template repo is like how I am scaffolding up a lot of my repositories, it comes with two really nice scripts that I'm very pleased with and happy about. One is setup, the other is hydrate. The setup script is a script that you can run, pm run setup, when you fork the repo as a template to set up the repo with your settings, your username, the repository name you want, your description, and so on. And I, like a happy little developer, added some tests for the setup script. I like tests. One of the things that gets tested, it's an end-to-end test really, is that when you run the setup script, all the values in the files all the lines in the files in this repo should match what they've been set up to. Like the setup script should not change, let's say, your ESLint config unexpectedly. That's an indication that the files used in the repo are out of sync with the template itself. And rather than pull in files from the repo source, I just keep a string of what the files should be. So let's see. One of these must be different. It's complaining. Oh, it's complaining that lint nip. I guess I run lint nip at the end of setup and all right. So now that lint nip should be, aha, setup passed. But now I have new lint failures. +1 Nixer42, yay, and unexpected comments. JSON C / no comments. What? So the ESLint plugin for JSON C is saying you're not allowed comments in JSON files. But I want to disable that. By the way, this is like a methodology thing. When someone gives you a complaint, and an ESLint rule gives you a complaint, you don't agree with the complaint, one of the possible things you could do is just disable the ESLint rule. For example, I see here that ESLint plugin JS.c, which is the ES plugin that lets you lint JSON files, is giving me a complaint that JSON C, JSON with comments files, shouldn't have comments in them. I don't agree with that. Now, I'm sure this rule is reasonable. It makes a lot of sense for .json files, which in theory shouldn't have comments. But for me, this doesn't make sense. I disagree. So pm lint. And with this saying in all JSON C files, oh, I meant to turn this off, not error. All JSON C files, turn off JSON C / no comments. Yay. And disable JSON C comments. Get push. For those who are new to ESLint configs, this is shorthand for saying ESLint plugin - JSON C. You can omit the ESLint plugin dash. Hooray! Boop. So now I'm hopeful that this PR will pass, because I've got a good amount of energy. I'm going to keep going, and I'd really like to continue to some of the other repos that we tried out typescript-eslint v6 on. So, whew, I've been going for a while. I normally go for like an hour and a half, and so far now it's been like more than that. Started at 2:30. It's been like almost 2 hours. All right. Just waiting for the CI. Just curious, anyone in the chat, have you tried out typescript-eslint v6? Or failing that, do you actively know that you are using typescript-eslint? Do you use any of our preset rule configs? Would love to know. And because I finished my soda, which my lovely spouse got me, I am now going to switch to water. Hope you enjoy that water pouring ASMR. Drinking water is important. Keeps you healthy. Hydration, good. Ooh. TypeScript-eslint and Vite. Very exciting. Someone mentioned... Oh, wait, Nick, so are you Nick McCurdy? Someone, maybe you, mentioned that we should add Vite to the list of things that we use, that we try out. Ha! That was you. Nice. Thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, community repos. Oh, I'll just switch to that tab. Yeah, you mentioned adding it to Vite, and I agree. I ended up just not having time to tackle all of them. I started getting basically no new feedback after like 2/3 of them. So next time, definitely though. Yeah, good stuff. Also, hi. The end-to-end tests. The downside of running an end-to-end test, which is something that tests a lot of your thing all at once rather than very specific granular unit tests, is that they often take longer. Here it looks like it's almost done. Uploading code coverage. Because fun fact, using common tools online such as CodeCov, you can you can have multiple different tasks calculate code coverage and then have it all merged together. So that's good. And yay, squash and merge. The template repo now has TypeScript-eslint v6. Woo! PR 601 resolving issue 600 for 600. Still amusing to me. Alright. That's done. And soon the fancy schmancy automations on this will publish a new version and all that. v6.0.0. Good thing. Thank you for pushing for that. Alright. Now that I've gotten it good to go, first I'm going to update existing open PRs that I have, and then I'm going to send PRs to update ones that have previously been closed. Just sorting by order of complexity or how much time it'll take. I'm hoping to get through the list of open ones today. So that's Astro, Babel, Create T3 app, those are drafts, TRPC, and TypeScript. Because out of those, although I love them all, my favorite repo is TypeScript. I'm going to switch to that one. All right, moving over to updating community repos that we're trying out. V6's beta, which I love. Let's do purple heart. No, blue heart. I'm in a blue mood. A good mood. First up is TypeScript's open PR. Boop. Oh shoot! No, delete, because I meant. Nope. I meant to always put a tweet when I file an issue on something. So let's go back to knip. Where is, oh my god, so many. Whatever. Issues. There we go. One quick little issue report on knip cc Lars WebPro, which is still one of my favorite tools ever. Boop. Oh, is WebPro on Mastodon? Nope, bird.makeup, the Twitter closed. Or repost or whatever service. Alright, next up. Now I get to talk about TypeScript PR. I kind of like how Blue Sky gives you the option to make a link card. I wish it was on by default and you could click it to remove. But you know what? Whatever works. What? Why did that paste as code? Okay. I don't know how heart got turned into camera. Blue heart to... What? Blue? Again with the deleting the tweet. If only there was an owner who isn't a freaking evil megalomaniac, so I would feel comfortable paying for the option to edit my tweets. Until Elon Musk fucks off, I shall not. Anyway, TypeScript. Let's look at my PR. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop. Get Microsoft TypeScript polls. Joshua K. Goldberg. Updated typescript-eslint v6 beta. So this was basically ready to merge. Oh, hey again, Jay. Looks like there's another PR that also does stuff with ESM plugin. Oh, ESM plugin import. So this is good. I'm just gonna... Oh, you know what? I saw there's a merge conflict with the mains package lock. So I'm gonna... pulling main. Checking out my PR. Get merge main. Get checkout main -- package lock.json. And then I'm gonna wait there. So what I'm doing is I'm updating my local main because I'm in a forked repo cloned locally to receive all the new commits from TypeScript. Then I'm updating my repo, my fork. Then I switch back to the pull requests branch, merge in main, and then reset the package lock to mains. Unfortunately, because TypeScript is a massive repo, doing things like get pull upstream main can sometimes take a while. So that's lovely. In the meantime, let's do crowd work. What are you all up to? Oh, wait, there we go. My phone is buzzing. Alright, so typescript-eslint, no longer running on these alphas. Hit save. Alright. Actually, is there like a node version I should be using? Oh, look at this cool thing. Let me just make sure the package lock is... Oh, you know what? I didn't want to do that. I wanted to just merge. And then I'll do another commit to switch, because I'm doing granular commits like a happy little dev. Git status, and all, npm run lint. I don't know if I need to build before linting in this repo. I don't believe I do. All right, that worked. Okay, great. So now I'm gonna update I, then look at the config file. So in the config file, we oh yeah, here we go. We disabled a bunch of stuff, and yeah, just waiting to do enable these soon. Very good. npm run lint, just making sure that in the new versions we're not introducing a bunch of new complaints. Oh boy, oh boy. Running the lint, running the lint. Under 20 seconds. What are all these updates? What? 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 Where did these all come from? What? What did I do? What? Hi, Tessa, again. How did I change those files? What happened? All right, I'm just... Sometimes, you know, you think you understand Git and then you do something and it's just totally... What? All right. Git status. Git status. Git... You know what? I'm just going to git reset hard, back a few commits. Git pull. npmi. Yeah, truly it's... What is that? The two states of a programmer meme? I'm a god, I have no idea what I'm doing. Yeah, this thing. Oh, it's on Reddit. The first link. Good for you, Reddit, and your SEO. Alright, so git status. I'm up to date with the branch, which hasn't been updated since July 6th, 5 days. Good, good, good. Go to git merge main, which has a package, JSON, checkout, name, npmi, git add all. So now I should be ready to branch main, from branch main, sync the changes up to the repo, to the origin. Yeah, especially if Reddit like dies in some way or becomes like a Twitter style people slowly leaving, it slowly breaks more situation, which who knows. For context, by the way, if anyone's curious, look up the latest Reddit controversies that's linked on their Wikipedia page. They're charging exorbitant amounts for APIs, I'm told, still planning to do it. A bunch of subreddits protested. John Oliver pictures were everywhere. It was actually really funny. All right. There's a startup. I keep forgetting. Discord Stack Overflow startup. Oh, what are they called? There was a startup trying to basically turn Reddit things... Oh, excuse me, Discord. Answer Overflow? Ah, thank you. Yeah. I keep forgetting to try them out. but it uses Stack Overflow. Great. Love to see it. Yeah, I want that. All right, so now that I've done a clean merge from main, I don't know how that got unclean. On lint, I'm now using the 6.0.0 stable rather than the alpha. Oh, I was not aware mods are on strike and Stack Overflow. What? That's not good. Ha! Well, now I'll look into that later. typescript-eslint. I wonder if any TypeScript repo tooling will break if I put a... That's not the emoji I wanted to use. Oh, what an interesting display. Look at this. In my terminal, it shows up as whatever weird character thing it is, but in the printed get summary, it does show up as party face. openletter.mousetail.nl. Huh. Wow. Wow. Cool. Whoa, look at that list. Oh, it's been going on since June? You can see how much I use Stack Overflow these days. Ugh, that's not a brag. I just don't do enough coding. I miss it. Whenever I code more, I tend to use it more. Okay, so all right, so linting is good. TypeScript uses this hereby tool, which caches nicely. So, or maybe ESLint caches. Sorry, hereby is running ESLint, which dashes cache, so it's going well. So, all right, I'll let this build run, and next up, just going in reverse of who's open. Create T3 app is still open, so I'll switch to that one. Pushed the commits there, waiting to build, moving on to the next one in the meantime. Add link card. Actually, you know what? I'm going to see if it does it automatically. Experimentally validate here. See how friendly Blue Sky is in that way. D. Thompson, hi. How's it going? Thanks for coming over. Doesn't seem like it creates the link card automatically. That's upsetting. Well, I'll just delete and then repost. No one will be inconvenienced, right? Boop. Oh no, this one has build failures on it. Authorization required to deploy. Yeah, let's move on to create T3. How's the world of TypeScript treating me? Honestly, pretty good. Not perfect. There were one or two things earlier where I was just not ready to tackle them, but things are good. I'll post the link actually. Tessa, thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Shout out. We just released typescript-eslint v6, and that is very exciting. So now I'm going through open pull requests on community repos that we were trying out v6 because people are lovely and willing to try things out with us. And I'm just updating them to all be the stable version. So create T3 app, which uses PNPM. Looks good. Let's see if it works. So yeah, how's the world of TypeScript treating you? What have you been up to? Question to you and anyone else in the chat. Okay. Looks good. Just make sure the lock file isn't, and it's using a different version of PNPM, so things are different. So let me just, there we go. The PNPM versioning story is confusing to me. I always end up doing something wrong, and I don't know how that happens. XTCFN, hello. I'm good, thanks. How you doing? Ooh, TSE. I've never seen someone abbreviate us as TSE before. I kind of like that. I kind of like that a lot. npm run lint. Are there any changes we have to do here? Let's see. Just going to. By the way, before I forget, I do want to actually give a literal shout out to Tessa. I think we might have met at Cascadia Just 2022, but we've been chatting today. Tessa Mero is very cool. Dev advocate at AppRight. What is the thingy? There it is. Haha. So, yay, it worked. Shout out. Sorry, I'm like still new to the stream manager. I've been only doing this for a year, so I'm still novice and the tech confuses me. But anyway, just going through the chat in order. You want to resurrect your ESLint config? Do it. Every developer who works in linting stuff long enough ends up just making a personal ESLint config. It's like a Vim or Emacs config you share. Tmux config or whatever. Yes, going next. TypeScript good, using it at work. Yes, helping new interns learn TypeScript, I have found to be like a little bit painful at first when they, as with any new thing, have to wrestle with it. But once they get it, it's a lovely experience. Yeah. Create next step. Okay, Nick, you've triggered my angriness in a good way. Very good way. Let's look at a remix discussion. I posted on Remix in April saying, hey, it would be nice if you use the TypeScript ESLint recommended things. And Remix is actually one of the things I want to... I forgot to add it to this list. Whoops. One of the things I want to update. So that was nice. I got a response from them like a week later. Ended up like having a PR merged. Great. Really enjoyed working with the team. Now, keep in mind, Remix has seen less adoption, less top-of-mind industry shenanigans compared to Next.js, and I believe they're a smaller team. So this is not a complaint or criticism. This is just a remarking on the state of the industry. Next.js is like relatively swamped as a team. So I posted a discussion saying, hey, we should use TypeScript ESLint's recommended configs Next.js, because although they do use us as a parser, they don't enable our recommended rules. And nothing. So 21 upvotes, 23 thumbs up emojis. Bye. So actually, while we're here, just recommended type checked. So yeah. Edit July 11th, 2023. We named from recommended requiring type checking to recommended type checked per, and then announcing TypeScript ESLint v6. Where is it? Requiring type. There we go. Recommended type checked, because we renamed those configs in the newest. Yeah, it's unfortunate because they're a really great team. Like Vercel and Next.js do amazing, fantastic things. They, along with others such as Remix, Astro, and so on, and the core React team, have really been pushing forward the state of the industry. I mean, just look at all the cool things you can do now. Like my new personal site is built on Astro and Solid.js because those are really cool tools, and deployed on Vercel. Just there's a lot of great stuff that these and other teams are doing, but there's a lot of work to be done, and well, now we're stuck with these things. Such is life. Yeah. There are so many places where I want to go in, I want to do one thing and quit. Yeah. Anyway, so create T3 app looks good. Git status and commit and TypeScript ESLint app 6 stable. I'm gonna send in that party face again. Whoop. I'm just pen testing to see who I can break by putting an emoji in the commit. Is pen testing the right word? Red teaming? Whatever. And it's got a merge conflict. So let's fix that. Git pull upstream next. Git pull. Git push. 1476. Git merge next. What I'm just gonna. What I do is when I have an ESLint tooling upgrade PR and it gets merge conflicts, I just reset the files and then see what new lint complaints are happening. Because most of the time file changes are just really small ones to fix a lint config. Same with like a TypeScript, like if I'm changing a repo to use a more strict TypeScript or something. So let's see, 79. So yeah, let's just see what changes I previously made in this file. How fast do I type? Pretty fast. I don't remember the actual speed. But I used to get kind of into the like the fun little games of like typing things. I was actually just talking about this with Tessa earlier. I believe back in the day I used to consistently pass 100 words a minute. I don't remember if that's impressive or good or bad. Yeah, such is life. It's not something I look at too much anymore. And there's a prettier complaint. Oh boy. Line 12. Oops. Is 100 average? I thought 100 IQ is average. Is it coincidentally the same word per minute and IQ average at 100? 130 is, that's a nice number. I once took an IQ test in elementary school. I later learned the test was just like blatantly inaccurate. They eventually removed it. But I got 148 and my word, that went to my head. Oh, not good. Woo! Again, I do not believe I have 148 IQ. I believe a very incorrect test told me in like middle, early elementary school I had a 148 IQ, and that really, really inflated my ego. All right. Okay, so it looks like there's a discussion actually in this file about our preset recommending configs switch you from type to interface automatically. A couple of y'all, oh hi Nick, are recommending type by default. So I'll just ask, just to be clear, would you like me to disable the rule and revert its changes? I'm happy to, just not sure from the discussion. I don't mind either way. I really wish there was a clear, better choice between type and interface. It's just they're nuanced and different. And it's really annoying. And GitHub may or may not have failed to post a comment. Average word per minute is 40. Wow. Wait, install dependency. Okay, there it is. Oh, I did post. Okay, great. High IQ dad, low IQ mom. That's abusing. Nick, that is not a hill I want to join you on. I may agree with you in certain contexts, but for me, it's I had other battles. Respect, though. Respect. All right, so this PR is building. Let's check back in on TypeScript, see if it's happy. Tests are still running. They'll probably take a little while. Lint passed. That's nice. The TypeScript wiki is a little out of date, I think. It's unfortunate. All right, let's go to the next one. I'm going in reverse order. Babel. And got 2 approvals. Oh, they're still working on it with max old space size. They're getting, I don't know, they're getting weird complaints. I don't know how this is happening, but maybe it's like some sort of build system thing. I don't know. Have they ever fixed the performance issues with union types? Yes, many of them. Not all of them. Union types just can inherently have a lot of performance issues. Fun fact, by the way, I can no longer figure out on my own how to make a repro case for TypeScript union types with bad perf issues. I used to be able to quickly, and I've forgotten how because the way I used to use no longer works. Irksome, but yeah. All right, so moving on to Babel. Got that one merged. Now moving on to Babel. It's good to stream again, by the way. I was off and on for a little while. Too much travel, and glad to have a light summer, rest of the summer. All right, code Babel. It is so cool, by the way, being an open source and just contributing to things. Like I'm contributing to like Babel's code base. Like, to me, that's still just mind-blowingly cool that we can just go in, file issues, and or send code suggestions to like projects used by whatever hundreds of thousands of developers. So cool. All right, I'm on main, pull upstream, main, push, GHPR checkout 15716. GH repo set default. I think I was working my laptop, which is why I don't have these set up. Get merge main, merge conflicts. Package JSON. Oh boy, that looks gnarly. Check out main, package JSON. Oh wait, I wanted to copy the alpha. So I'm just gonna merge from main, and then I'm gonna update to the latest typescript-eslint. Oh God, is this, are they using like a fancy yarn thing? Yes, I truly dislike working with anything other than Yarn Classic, because they did this really annoying thing where they messed around with how you run Yarn in very breaking changes in V2, and they like dialed back and or made easier a lot of those changes, but it's just annoying to use. Whereas npm, pnpm, you can just run the command. Yeah. Why not just run Yarn? Because I have repeatedly broken my local Yarn setup by accidentally switching to or from Yarn Classic versus Yarn Berry, the 2.3 version. Oh, and then we get this. Love to see it. What error is happening? What is the error? What? Failed with errors. What? The archive doesn't match the expected. Let's run again in full screen. Clear. Node, yarn releases, CJS, whatever. Okay, so it's complaining about it's complaining about peer dependencies. Have you tried shoving it up your butt, Yarn? This makes me not want to do this. Oh yeah, just for posterity, what happens if I run Yarn? You get this complaint because Yarn v1 is no longer actively being updated, I want to say. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe it's like no longer being given features. There's like something that they've decided, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm under the impression that this annoyance is not something they're planning on fixing, which is that when it's like a Yarn v3 style lock file, where is it? Where, or not lock file, entries, where is it? 421.9, here we go. Resolutions, there it is. Resolutions in the package JSON. Are they using package manager? Yes, they are. So maybe I'm just on an old version of Yarn Classic. Let's see here. Yarn v1. Yarn Classic, I'm on the latest. Classic stable. Released 2 years ago. No, this changelog isn't even up to date. I hate this. I hate this so much. Oh yeah, I still haven't tried out Core Or like I've used it in repos, but like haven't deep dove into it on my own. Yeah, so I have to use Yarn v3, and the repo doesn't expect. Oh, interesting. 5.5.0. Someone is requesting typescript-eslint, typescript-estree at 555. By the way, the number 55 should be very humorous to everyone because of the now classic, I think you should leave a Tim Robinson sketch, 55 burgers. I think I need module resolutions here to force these friends to always be the same. TypeScript-eslint. So this is under dev dependencies. Yeah. So I'm going to add to Oh, you know what? I think I actually did this already in the PR and I've just forgotten. And when I reset my package JSON, I lost those changes. That's what it was. Annoying. But not more I'm just being silly and forgetting what I did than actually tooling is failing me. Let's look at yeah. Oh no, I didn't set package resolutions. All right. So typescript-eslint, typescript parser, typescript-eslint utils. Let's see. See if this allows. Nope. And p utils. By the way, did anyone notice this? I don't know if this was a me shortcut or what, but I used to have Command K W. Nope. Was it Command K W? I used to have a way to clear the terminal set to a shortcut, and then when I updated VS Code, it stopped working. I don't know. But anyway, yarn lint. We do support TypeScript 5.1 for the record. This is just an old version of us that I'm resolving merge conflicts around. Let's see how long this lint takes. In the meantime, let's build. Whee! It's so cool. Not always pleasant, but cool to look into repos that were made years ago, before the current wave of tooling is a whole thing. Oh boy. Cannot read properties of null. Reading satisfies. We have an error. Why alpha? Am I upgrading from older version to me? Yeah, I wanted to just merge the latest next branch into. Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh no, that's supposed to be the latest next branch into the typescript-eslint branch. Is it next? What is the target here? Oh, main. So I wanted to merge the latest. Did I merge next instead of main from the muscle memory? Oh no, I did main. Okay. And then we get a parsing error. I don't know what's happening, but what I'm going to do is, oh boy, Mickey Mouse. I discovered freshman year of college that I should rephrase. I discovered the first week of freshman year of college that I could do a Mickey Mouse impression, and then annoyed a bunch of people in my dorm with it. So, because I'm a buffoon when it comes to not annoying people around me. Wow, look at all these parsing errors. Who is parsing unhappily? I'm going to say that, you know what, maybe the TypeScript support message was right, and I should just... Yeah, I'm just going to go with the 6.0.0 stable, just to clear yarn, just to make sure. Oh, right, can't do the yarn. Do it again. Ho-ho. I'm now resisting the urge to say extremely vulgar things in Mickey Mouse's voice, because that's what I used to use it for. Making puns about words like do it. Because deep in my heart, as with everyone, I am but a small preteen with an immature worldview and no scruples. Resist the urge to make inappropriate comments on the internet. Drink water, folks. Whenever I have a yarn lint command that takes too long, I am reminded to drink water. Oh, where Goofy curses people out. I'm good. Excellent. Oh, nice. Look at this. It worked. Nope. Still parser complaints. Oh, wait. Maybe... Did I... Oh, that's from the old thing. God dang it. Clear. Yarn lint. TypeScript is great if you make you take a break. Love me some compiles. One thing I don't like about Babel is that they use -- format code frames. So I actually, I remember now, when I started making this PR, I just copy and pasted this, put quotes around this so that I wouldn't get like globbed, and then just removed -- format code frame. Naughty. Ho ho! Prefer interface over type. Ho. And now we wait. And there we go with the 346 errors. Aha! So, I see what happened. One of the changes we made in the v6 betas was we removed no explicit any from the recommended rule sets and moved it to strict. We then realized, wait a second, we want it enabled. So, in the last one or two versions of the betas, like the last one or two alphas, whatever you want to call them, we moved it back to recommended. So now I have to go through and find, where did I to do all the rules? Here we go. To do, investigate for each one of them, whether we want them. All right. Off. So this is another example of how I often approach lint conversions, and we'll eventually write a blog post on. I will take the existing config, copy over all the settings that people really want, and then for all the rules that are newly introduced in the new version or configs, I put a giant to-do of, hey, do we want these? Ooh, what's this issue? Oh, fun fact, we have a stack overflow when using recursive types. An existing bug. Hooray! So those are just disabled. Love to see it. And now we wait again. Okay, look at that. No complaints. I am pleased. Let me just, in theory, I would like do a more clean merge with like individual granular commits, but commit M, merge, branch. Does it have the object? There it is. YOLO. Also, here's a fun little thing. I just got a GitHub notification. Let me show you on the screen. From WebPro. This is one of the reasons why I love working on things with Knip. Lars just freaking fixed the thing I reported 48 minutes ago. Closed 18 minutes. 30-minute SLA, apparently. Practically speaking. For, oh my god, look at this. Look at this. Beautiful. And released in 2.15.2. So I can actually go back to my template repo. Where are you? Here you go. Git checkout main. Go to Knip, remove these to-dos. Remove the little comma there. Package JSON Knip, update Knip to the latest version, which I haven't done in a little bit. I don't know why the auto updates haven't gone through. Yeah, 2.14 to 2.15 with a patch. PMPMI. I'm also gonna git checkout b knip typescript-eslint v6 add all fix or not really a bug. So builds update knip to version net to text typescript-eslint v6 configs. What is it? What branch am I on? I already forgot what I typed. The push u origin knip typescript-eslint v6. Love to see this. Oops, wrong link. There it is. Porting in. Thanks for the blazingly fast response time fix. Pro. Honestly, ridiculous. Like, absurdly ridiculous. Look at that. Look how fast. Ooh. Yeah, a few updates. Cool. Create PR. Whoop. All right. So I'm just gonna move this to my tab with all these things. All right. So TypeScript is good to go. So I'll close that out. Create T3 app has complaints. Good to It's not showing my latest commits with checks. Oh, actually, I'll post in the TypeScript PR too. By the way, I just updated to typescript-eslint v6 stable. Boop. Post in both TypeScript and create t3. And now Babel is a whole thing. Oh no, Linux Knip is complaining. What? Did I not check in the new version? 2.15.3. What? Released in 2.15.3. Oh, close. Really closes 12 minutes ago. Alright, so I think package knip will be updated soon. 12 minutes ago. Well, anyway, I'll follow up on this later. Let's go back to Babel. All these to-dos. And yeah, so I see that they have some complaints. Now that it's merged from main, I'll come back to this later, but at least as a reference point, it has no lint complaints when I build locally. So that's good for now. Anyway, I'll come back to that later. Last up is the two repos that actually merged v6 as a beta, which, oh my god, I love even more. Astro and TRPC. So just real quick, I'm just gonna send PRs to get them on stable because, you know, they were nice enough to get onto our betas. Might as well help them out there. You pull upstream main, push I. Let's see. Alright, so typescript-eslint. Oh, look at that! Renovate already did it. Love to see it. I'm gonna react with a little emoji. Rocket. Beat into it. Nice. All right. All right. That was nice to see. And Todd, welcome back. Good to see you. You actually caught me at the end. I'm like wrapping up things, but I'm glad you made it. Yay. So, Astro bumped to TypeScript v6 alpha. So let's see if they if their latest main is better late than never, as I always say. Better out than in is the Shrek quote. Todd, how you doing? Git remote add upstream github.com with Astro upstream name. Git push. Todd, it was really nice hanging out in KCDC, by the way. We finally did it. We finally hung out. Let's look. Did they automatically get pushed to the or updated to the latest TypeScript-eslint? No, they didn't. Let's do that for them. Yeah, by the way, shout out to the conference KCDC. They do a really good job of giving speaker feedback. Probably the best I've ever seen. They actively solicit attendees for feedback on speakers. For context, Todd and I were both speakers there. And then they send it to us, which is something most conferences don't do. And I'm like, I would really like you to do that, please. So very nice. So just looking at here. Check out the TypeScript-eslint v6 stable. Oop, what's complaining? What did I do? Oh, dash alpha. MPMI. Oh yeah, one of my speaker feedback things, I'm going to post about this soon, actively described me as Willy Wonka, parentheses, the Gene Wilder version. And it's like when I took a faulty IQ test in elementary school and was told I had an IQ of 148. My God, the ego boost. Woo, Lordy. How was your speaker feedback? Did you like it? honestly, yeah, Gene Wilder, Willy Wonka, top tier person to be compared to. Feet or chore, bumps. Aha. So they're hit by the putting no explicit any back in shenanigan. Typescript tea time. Good to see you again. You have even worse timing than Todd Libby. Sorry, I'm leaving very soon. But it's good to see you. How's it going? A speaker got feedback about the shaky Wi-Fi, so they gave the speaker a yellow rating. Huh. Yellow as opposed to, for context, red, yellow, green, like in that context. All right. So that's unfortunate. Feet bump typescript-eslint to v6 stable. AC was too cold. 1 out of 10. At that point, what are you doing? Ooh. So we don't have. So this is a new lint complaints that's being introduced. So I'm just going to add it. So for context, this lint rule was also not enabled in the preset that they're using in the betas, but now it is. So now it is enabled in the stable. So I'm just going to add it to the big old to-do list. So lines ascending. Good feedback is good. Push the origin TypeScript v6 stable. Just waiting for that link to finish. By the way, it's 4:56 my time. I'm not as exhausted as I thought I would be, but still kind of tired. I've been streaming since 2:30 my time, so it's been like almost 2.5 hours. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna stop soon. Yeah. But last thing in every stream that I do is 2 steps. One, I wrap up and summarize what I did and give y'all contact info and beg for money. And then I also try to find someone to raid. So if any of y'all have any last questions you want to ask, things to talk about, or folks you think I should raid, hit me up, because I'm always looking for new people to find on Twitch. And in the meantime, I'm gonna, there it is. I'm just gonna copy over some info here. Changes. Ugh. Always something. The change set tool is awesome. It's what a lot of folks, including now Astro, just minimize that window that I don't need, use for automatically making change sets, like descriptions, automated release publishing. But it's a little less automated than I like, because it does require actual effort. So I'm just gonna, did I say TRPC? I meant Astro if I did. I'm just gonna copy the change set information if I need here. Changes, yeah. All right, change packages. What did I actually change? I changed the roots, package JSON, the Astro pack. There's I don't think a change set is needed, because I just deleted a couple comments. So I think this is a, yeah, I think this is a chore. Git commit amends message chore bumps TypeScript ESLint to v6 stable party emoji. Bumps to the stable config now that TypeScript ESLint v6 is released as stable. Look at that blog post. I'm going to sneeze. Woo! Excuse me. I don't think this needs a change set, since the only package code it touches is to remove a couple of comments. Internal only change, no docs he did, I think. Linting, no, testing, I think. Shell, pm build, pm lint. think just the mint is fine. All right. And what I normally do is I'll explain any lint changes that are significant. So like here, someone might wonder like, why aren't we doing that comment anymore? Get out of here, PM lock. Explaining, I added the rule to the eslint.rc.suggest. So it doesn't need to be disabled. I think that's what I did. Prefer optional chain, yeah. Oh yeah, and as of so that particular rule, prefer optional chain, actually got overhauled very beautifully. Here we go. Made the rule more powerful, so it started flagging more things. Wait, was this the right PR? Yeah. Great pull request, by the way. Mewtrue. Who is Mewtrue again? I feel like I remember this person from somewhere. Anyway, just post the link here. And boop, boop, boop. Create T3 app. Astro had been bumped by renovate. Awesome. So just wait. Shoot, who was I looking at that was auto published? Not Astro. TRPC. Astro left. Whee. All right. Well, this was fun. Last wrap up now, since it's been just over 2.5 hours. Okay, great. I'll raid her. Also, I need to message someone. I'm going to be a couple minutes late. Yes, so hi. Wrapping up for those who those who don't know me. Hi, I'm Josh. I'm a full-time independent open source maintainer in the TypeScript ecosystem. That means I work on tooling that helps you write TypeScript. For example, and most notably, I work on typescript-eslint, which is the tooling that lets you run ESLint and prettier on TypeScript code, and also provides a bunch of awesome ESLint rules that help you find flaws and stylistic inconsistencies and best practice violations in your TypeScript code. I also wrote a book. Let's see if I remember my stream elements commands. There we go. Learning TypeScript. Buy it today. Woo. And also, if you want to sponsor me, I don't have a job. I work full-time in open source independently, so those are the ways to sponsor me and or typescript-eslint. All that being said, I will not raid someone who's doing a not safe for work video game, even though Outlast is a great set of games. Love Outlast. BDuggy is streaming. I like going with whoever has the fewest. BDuggy is awesome. Open sauce is a really cool thing, so I'm gonna raid BDuggy. Brian Douglas. But yeah, this has been really fun. Thank you all. It's good to be back to like full-time or full-on streams twice a week. Next one will be 10:30 a.m. Eastern on Thursday. So thanks for the chats, y'all. Bye.